going to be opening up above train. That's a great access point because they can push into dining from there. You just have to make sure they get open the sidewalls as well.
There's a minute left, so a lot of time now being taken by DarkZero to try and ready their execute, and a drop from Merc could be right onto the head of DarkZero. We'll see as the call is being made, and there you go. He picks off Hot and Cold and flicks onto Hyper. 2 kills for him. He's traded out from above, but the damage is already done. And with it, DarkZero will now need to make their push happen without Hyper, without that disruptive ability, and without the hard destruction of Hot and Cold. They'll also lose Eclipse. So DarkZero finds themselves completely outmanned. Chala doing his best to try to break double digits. He's on 8 kills so far. He won't be half of the battle, and you have to actually do it in practice. So anyway, first time that we saw a kitchen take from DarkZero. They were very strong on that top floor, and well, there's going to be early action right now as Merc gets punished, Geo a refrag, and now the shield comes out, but a missed opportunity as Chala gets away with 25 HP, and DarkZero finds themselves trailing. But this is a very quick round, and there's a sense of urgency from DarkZero coming out, as we are still over half of the round to go. 3 people dead in the server right now, and as I pointed out, advantage in favor of TSM.
Still very winnable for DZ, though. They got the control that they were vying for. They're going to be able to open up the prep wall, but not the actual bakery wall. Bandit is playing by that wall, I believe, and might be able to trick it. Nope, he's fallen back. So if they get the initial set of batteries, which is easier said than done, then DarkZero will be able to open up that bakery wall at least a little bit. Clips gets it done and gets away with his life. That's huge, which means Hibana can now open up the wall, gaining a line of sight and access point to the A-bomb site. This is going to establish a crossfire as well and make it much more difficult for the defense to retake A. But there's plenty of indirect denial. There's Evil Eyes, C4s, and gas canisters that the defense can use to deny the plant in A without retaking the site itself.
So after that early action, Michael, things have slowed down just a touch, and TSM knows that the execute's going to happen from the A-bomb site. There goes Hot and Cold trying to go for the plant. He was successful on the previous round. Hyper with good coverage. From above, Eclipse gets felled by Bolo. Diffuser goes down. TSM still in an advantage, and now it's all on the shoulders of Hyper, who finds one on Chala. Diffuser being started, but he's going to get shot away at from the Valkyrie. He doesn't know where he is. Hyper can't land the shots. Bolo dances around him, and Geo.
Them earlier. Now, Merc has positioned himself in coat check. He could actually do so much work from here. Skies is probing. It seems like DZ's aware. 2 SMG-11s, though, they got to be careful. They really need to land their shots. Limited ammunition in those magazines. And they're both still testing Merc. Meanwhile, the roam clear upstairs is trying to open up some holes. Chala will get Eclipse, so Mozzie done. That was one of the roamers. Mint is going to win the fight against Merc that we were seeing earlier downstairs, and Merc paying respect where it's due. Now, there's not a lot of time left for the attack to hit the site, and they haven't really accomplished as much as I think they'd hoped they had. They at least got the roamer. That will be big. They don't need to worry as much about the holes above. That'll allow them, I think, a little bit easier access to this tiny hole that was made by Geo.
Hot and Cold is itching for a fight through that opening that you'd mentioned, and while he's going to need to just hold off the troops from TSM, he'll be aided by one of those toxic canisters being deployed by Skies. He's got 2 left in 20 seconds. That means that you'll be able to blanket the remaining timer. Just narrowly evading the frag grenade is the Hot and Cold once again on his belly. We talked about how important he was going to be, and he's the first line of defense. But right now, TSM just bursts on in. They get so many kills, but pistol out, Hot and Cold is going to clutch. What a huge play from Hot. Now when we look at this bomb site in particular, it's a reading defense on that second floor, as we talked about. The team's using this third floor as a buffer, as DarkZero is very strong on the east side of the map. And there goes the disappearing act of the Wamai. So Mint immediately drops, and TSM have got control of this side of Cocktail. And would you look at that? Hyper has not been removed from pillars. Skies and Mint have been removed from the server, though, by both Merc and Bolo. So TSM, two very early and very quick picks into this action. When I say early, I don't mean into the round. I mean into the execute that's unfolding. Hot and Cold answers back. He's going to continue his good play before getting silenced by Merc. So TSM trades that one off quite quickly. Eclipse under the radar on white stairs. He's able to take out Geo, but not get back to the bomb site. TSM trading admirably so far, leaving Hyper in a final situation now between what is it, 3 members? Make that 2 as Merc dies. Chala and Bolo against Hyper. Hyper sees 1. The second drops. What a clutch from Hyper.
Makes a play. It just seems like they know that's what the right decision is at that moment. And I think you put it well. You said they make other teams, or they force other teams play DarkZero's game. And the way they do that is by being the ones to initiate, being the ones to set the tempo, set the engagement. His gas canisters are a good example of control right now. As you can see, Eclipse is not only delaying, but doing a little bit of damage as well to Bolo, and allowing Mint to persist just inside of the Pallet's corner. I don't think TSM is aware of this. No, the way they're playing, they don't know that there's someone still here. There is no way they've checked this. But the timing is really bad. There's a player behind that bar, but he doesn't know it. Mint doesn't know. There's so little information for both teams, and he might find the second. Yes, he will. Bolo doesn't get off cams. He's looking for a third, and he'll get it as he falls back to sight. Mint with a massive round, and just a lot of bad information on, well, to be honest, both teams, and it works out for Mint.
This is a desperation, a Hail Mary grenade going on in as the chances to win this map for TSM have all but evaporated, and with it, it'll be series point, technically, for DZ, as they'll only have 1 more map to go. There it is, it's in the books! The hands of Jaeger in terms of gadgetry, but the rest will be information that is withheld from the attackers, and that'll be Hyper, Mint, and Eclipse all working together as the trio of Mozzie, Mute, and Vigil will do an excellent amount of work at making sure that the drone work and the job of the droners is hindered as best as possible. And Mint will go sight unseen and take out Bolo, and now another 2 for Mint as he's inside a meeting hall by the sandbags. No sandbagging from DZ. He'll scoot off over towards the kitchen. 2 opening picks, and Mint manages to exchange 95 HP for 2 very important targets.
Yeah, that's your Thatcher and your Zofia, and Thatcher is still able to destroy those gadgets fully, so that's a pretty big pick there. I'm amazed that Mint was allowed to get that prone peek. He might even get a third as someone crosses right in front of him. He'll do, I think, some work there. Hard to tell, but he at least forces someone back. Or no, pardon me, that was a defender. I am delusional. TSM are fully focused right now on the bunker pillar take. This is not going to be easy to pull off. You've got Hot and Cold playing in a corner by Small. Good rotations, and hallway control is firmly in favor of DZ thanks to this shield. Small will get opened up. That forces the aggression out of Hot and Cold, and he dies to a nade from Achieve, who predicts that aggression correctly. Nade goes deep into the hallway, likely to get the shield, and it gets its second kill. Achieved on a roll here, but he's alone now.
Double dorms, and this is nothing too surprising. Nitro Cell in. This is Mint. This is a rough go, and he gets Chala. What a toss. Prepped and ready. And like that, 1 minute in, DZ finds themselves with the opening pick here on round number 3.
Okay, so once again, I want to bring up something that's been talked about, or that I talked about last time we saw DZ and TSM play. Nobody expects DZ to be aggro on defense, and they've been doing that this entire major. They take any kind of opportunity they can to get an early pick. They just go for it. Hyper's playing a trophy right now. People expect Hyper to be chilling in the site with the rest of his team, not to be extended into trophy. People don't expect anyone to push up to Attic to C4 that wall. Not on DZ. That C4 is a common C4. That is a very sensible and common C4 that we've seen a lot of. Yes, but you don't expect it out of DZ. And it's working so well for them that they're doing it. This C4 likely will land on the ceiling fan, I want to say. But the goal of that C4 is to kill the Thermite as he attempts to open up the master closet wall. We'll see if that works. But I think the intentions might be kind of clear here, and Gio's not going for it right now.
Stat that you'll see on your screen says, despite being behind in the match, TSM is winning the opening duel battles 7-6 thus far. They didn't this round. Bolo gets Hyper, so back to a 4v4 we go. Hyper taken out at the bottom of White Stairs. He's got Hot and Cold nearby, so DZ has not completely lost that control that they need when the push should happen. And Hot and Cold will also have a Nitro Cell in hand, so he's very ready. And you can see the entire roof above him / floor, whatever you want to call it, is very much like Swiss cheese. He's going to be able to play through it. I don't know if he gets caught. Oh, he sees Achieve, takes him out, but then refragged immediately by Bolo, who will now ascend the White Stairs, realizing that there isn't much time left to work with. He'll get smoked off and just push right in to the shotgun blast of Eclipse. 1 minute left for DZ to be able to pull this one off, and they're going to sit center stage for the remainder of these rounds, as the only way that they relinquish match point is through overtime. And the push from DarkZero will come over towards pillars. TSM has been somewhat shaken off of this position, and Geo will be the very first man to confront the angry rages of DZ. And it might end up being the blitz of Mint, now positioned over by Blue. Time is going to continue to tick away here, and it will be TSM's greatest ally, as DarkZero still on drone, still trying to get intel, achieved as well as Geo trying to swing, and it'll work out effectively. Achieved moves on up, he guns down Hyper. The big question mark is going to be this blitz. There's one for Eclipse, shield knocked away, and it's a match for the ages. And continuing to swing is Geo, while the rest of DZ puts in work. There's Mint. He sees the mirror lined up, and he'll charge towards Merc. He knows that there's two in, and he goes for the flash. Merc completely blind. Mint is the last one down. It's Bolo against Hot and Cold and Eclipse. Gun out. He takes one down. Shotgun, and he'll finish the round. And they swept the half. That doesn't happen all that often. No. Oh my goodness. What? Hyper through the wall onto Merc, and he very narrowly could have gotten another as well onto Bolo, who gets out of there as he's going to be rubbing that lucky rabbit's foot. My goodness, the luck on Bolo. He's under fire now inside of dorms. The setup from TSM is going to have to only be half done. And finished off from the back now, Bolo's down as DarkZero jumps out to a huge lead here. An answer back, though, from Achieved, but he's finished off. DarkZero up 4v2. It's Chala and Geo just to try and hold this down on a meeting hall defense. This is not where you want to be if you are TSM. Still a minute and 40 seconds left, Michael.
This is certainly favored to DZ, but we've seen heroics before. The one thing that is scary for TSM right now is that Mint is on Blitz. Mint has historically, I think, been, if not the best Blitz player in the world, one of, certainly. And it's really hard when you have low manpower to deal with a shield operator. Yes, they have the gas canisters on Chala, but that's just too situational. The lack of crossfires are going to give so much freedom to Mint. He will be able to force one of these engagements in all likelihood, and he should be able to lock this out almost by himself. And that's not even counting the overall man advantage right now. It's scary for Chala and Geo.
I've said weathered this storm, I think, 3 times so far today. This is the storm before the storm at this point. No calm at all, especially not with DZ still having tons of firepower at their disposal. And trying to chip away at the advantage that they have with TSM, knowing how dire these circumstances are. The world around Chala literally collapsing as he might wander into Mint's open arms. He peeks around the doorway the wrong way. He's as good as dead. 25 HP is all he'll get away with, and he'll walk wounded for the remainder. But he's down. It's just Geo in a 1v4. This is the match on the line. This is the championship on the line. Can Geo pull off one of the greatest 1v4 clutches that we've ever seen? Good trigger discipline. He'll need to drop, and he does so. He sees the blitz, drawing all of the fire away. Diffuser goes down successfully. The odds of him winning getting even harder. He's flashed, and DarkZero turns the lights out on TSM as DZ are your North American major champions.